Hello, and welcome back to Food Entertainment. This time for my review of 2007's The Hills Have Eyes 2. Alright, unlike the first Hills Have Eyes, I actually paid attention to this movie enough to do a review and understand the plot of it. But this film is so bad, in my opinion, that, I found myself doing other things while watching this movie. I'll be very honest with you on that. This film is hated by critics, hated by fans of the original films in the first remake. A lot of people don't like this movie, and there's justifiable reasons why. This movie takes too much time with boring crap that is not relevant to the movie for like the first act and a half of the film. It's part of the problem that it has. The film just feels too generic compared to its predecessor, which is, of course, 2006's The Hills Have Eyes. Just overall, a film that, if they would have followed the template they had with 1981's The Hills Have Eyes Part 2 and kind of do that, because I know that The Hills Have Eyes Part 2 from 1981 is nothing like this movie. This is like a completely different movie. It would have done that and followed more and being a sequel to the first movie in all absolute entirety. It probably would have been a better movie and would have tied in quite well to the first film a whole lot more. They didn't do that with this. They made this completely different movie and had these characters that you just can't really sympathize with all that much. You find these characters more annoying than anything. It kind of reminds me of Saw 2. Because it has so many cliches of sociology with these characters. I mean, you have the... And all these characters are actually U.S. Marine trainees. All of them. You got the drill sergeant personality one. He was just yelling at the trainees all the time. You got the more politically correct male soldier individual. He was basically their main character. Of course, you got this do-gooder blonde woman who is our second main character. You got your typical I have more balls than man Mexican aristocrat woman. You got the typical I'm a badass motherfucker and you don't fuck with me Mexican crochet character. You got I'm tougher than the world, I'm He-Man from Masters of the Universe black character. You got all these characters, and you just cannot sympathize with them because you kind of know the way they're going to kind of be. And when these cowboy hillbillies pick them off, you don't really feel anything for them. Not to mention, this film can't decide if it's a Wrong Turn movie or a Hills Have Eyes movie. I mean, it's still so much from the Wrong Turn films with this movie. It might as well just be a Wrong Turn movie. That's how bad it is. I mean, last time I checked, the Wrong Turn movies eventually end up with the sixth film kind of being about inbreeding. In this case, it's not really technically inbreeding, but our main villain, which is I guess the leader of these cannibals, he likes to kidnap potential female victims from the would-be victims of the films and rape them and then have them deliver to his own kin and then kill them. You actually see that at the very beginning of the film from the previous person, which I guess is from the previous film. Or it might be somebody else. Never could. It's all to speculation. But yeah, this weird shit like that. Don't care much for the characters. The film's more about its visual effects and stuff like that than it is about anything else. It doesn't have the same atmosphere, doesn't have the same type of character development of the first movie. But I did watch enough of the movie to tell you what it's about and to tell you kind of what's good and what's bad about it. All right. Well, the plot of the movie is very simple as well. A military base actually has, I guess, since the events of the first movie, has set up shop around, obviously, the desert area, and they are experimenting. I wouldn't say they're experimenting. Say they're just kind of gathering data of all the radiation around for some particular reason. We never did I figure out why they're over there collecting data on radioactive this and radioactive that, but they're there. Obviously, some of these cannibalistic hillbillies kills the entire brigade of military men and women over there at the test site. Kills them all. Nobody left. Word of this kind of reaches to this sergeant who is running a simulated war zone activity with military trainees, and they mount a rescue mission. So you go down there. That's where we meet all our main characters, which I already told you about. I have to talk about them again. And then, obviously, the politically correct one and the go-gooder are pretty much left at the military test site, while the rest of the trainees and the sergeant go out to try to look for, obviously, the military officers and men and women that were not there. In doing so, they're kind of strategically picked off one by one. Meanwhile, at the test site, this is as stupid as it gets. The politically correct character, which is our main character, which is a I guess like early 20s or late teens, likely early 20s, Marine trainee needs to take a dump. Yeah. That's what starts this. That's how stupid this movie is. What starts the ball rolling on the adrenaline and the suspense of this movie in the main story of the film? Marine trainee needs to take a dump in a porta potty. In doing so, he discovers that they buried one of the military officers, scientists, inside the porta potty. And that's what starts this all off. Obviously, he dies from, of course, being slightly, cut multiple times with small abrasions, and of course, people don't really know this, and this right here is revolting too as well. But our feces that comes out of our body, if absorbed through the skin, is toxic to our body. Very interesting. I don't know how the hell that makes any fucking sense. I mean, wouldn't we all be dead inside of our fucking body if the crap we crap out of our body is toxic? It can lead to massive affections throughout the body. It kills us. Whatever. They pull this out and they have it in this movie. Then, of course, they get ambushed at the test site by cannibal hillbillies. And then, of course, take out a couple of them, I think. Probably don't, actually. Meet up with the others, because they can run away from the test site. Meet up with the others, and then they obviously their sergeant get killed, and then another one of them gets killed, and then they go into the underground caverns of the hills, and that's where they battle it off with the rest of the cannibal hillbillies. There's a friendly one that's trying to help them in this movie, just like there was in the last movie. Eventually, they do kill the main guy, and that's after, of course, the main villain decides to kidnap and abduct and rape the Mexican woman, I have more balls than men character. Well, how you feel that way now, honey? And of course, they rescue her, kill the main camel, mystic big guy, and then they cut out of the caverns. Everything seems like it's all safe, Well, it's just those two women and that one guy left. That's it. Then, of course, you see on monitors. See monitors to someplace, and we see another one of these big-ass hillbillies putting their hand down in a violent gesture, and that's how the movie ends. there will not be another movie because there was another movie in the original films. So they want to keep true to that in some form or not. They're not going to make another one. So I know a lot of people out there want another one. They're not going to make another one. Not to mention Wes Craven's dead, and I think that his son can't do it all by himself. So likely we're not going to have another Hills Have Eyes movie. All right, quality. This one's almost as good as the first one, I will admit. It's almost as good as the first one, but it has way too much warm temperatures in this movie, and it doesn't make any sense. Most of the film takes place during the day. Why wouldn't you use some cooler temperatures? But for what it does look like, it's a good HD picture, a good high quality, and clear and stuff like that, but it does have that one little fucking problem. Audio quality, almost as good as the first film. When it does have good surround effects and directions, it's really good, but this is where it gets weird on the sound. Points in the movie where you have a sequence to where it is very, very illogical that you would use the surround mix channels, they don't. And that could be a little bit of a distraction for an audio experience in the movie, but it is a pretty good, solid, rock-hard 5.1 DTS HD master audio track in the movie. It just, certain points in the movie where you think they would use surround effects, they do not use surround effects, but put it all on the stereos in the center, which makes no sense. And that's pretty much all you say about The Hills Have Eyes, Part 2 from 2007. I say the visual effects are good in this movie. The action sequences are pretty good in this movie. But this film is inferior in every single way to every previous Hills Have Eyes movie. Even the 1978 Grindhouse movie that Wes Craven made in the sequel in 81, even those are better than this. Like I said, I've never seen them, but I can tell you right now, they likely are. So I'll correct myself. I believe and assume that 78's The Hills Have Eyes and 81's The Hills Have Eyes 2 is better than this movie. 2006's remake certainly is. But for what it is, I did have fun with this movie. It's not as much fun as I had with the 2006 remake. I think that was a much better movie than this. But that's pretty much all there is to say about this movie. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys next time for my very special review of Stephen King's It Chapter 2, which will be a little bit longer of a video because I would be going ahead and although I will try to be ingenious and be very, very good on camera work and actually try to make it squeeze all of this shit into 15 minutes, which might actually happen. Because when you go to a movie theater, you don't actually have to review the video and audio of a movie. You don't have to hold a Blu-ray digi snap case up in front of the screen. You don't have to spend so much time on the plot of the movie, especially this one because it just came out. So I'm pretty sure there's actually a spoiler embargo up right now saying that I can't spoil the movie for you at all. So it's just going to be a basic review. So I actually might be able to fit everything in 15 minutes or less when it comes to reviewing It Chapter 2. It'll just be my own personal opinion of the movie and overall how I like the film. So I'll see you guys next time for that very special review. Until then, I hope you enjoyed. My name's Foos from Foos Entertainment. Like I always say, like, subscribe, share with friends. I love what I do here. I do this because I enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this review. And I will see you for my special review of It Chapter 2 for the next franchise that I will do after this particular movie. Which I haven't decided what it's going to be yet, but I will quickly decide. Until then.